All right, hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. So I needed to buy some new equipment for my consulting practice, but it's a real drain to spend weeks staring down at bank agents' half-hearted, dead smile. My neighbor had just gone through this whole nightmare, bouncing between banks, filling out forms, waiting for callbacks while his equipment deadline was breathing down his neck. I said, no mas, and did some research on AdvancePoint Capital. It's one online application with multiple lenders competing for your business and offers the next day. It's so much easier to choose between options from home versus bouncing between banks. Today, I'm going to break down for you how AdvancePoint actually works and whether it's worth your time. So AdvancePoint is a lending marketplace, and it connects you with over 75 lenders. Instead of calling around to different banks and filling out separate applications everywhere, you complete one form, and they go shop it around. The process is straightforward. You fill out their online application with basic business information, things like how much funding do you need, how long have you been in operation, and what's your monthly revenue. They do a soft credit check. It doesn't hurt your credit score, don't worry. And then they send your information to lenders in their network who might be interested. Within hours, maybe days, you start getting offers back. Each offer shows the loan amount, the interest rate, the terms, and the funding timeline. You can compare them side by side without having to decode different application formats or call multiple lenders for clarification. And they don't charge borrowers any upfront fees. Their money comes from the lenders when deals close. The lenders they work with include American Express, Bank of America, Cabbage, these legitimate operations that you've probably actually heard of. They handle everything from term loans to equipment financing to lines of credit. I needed about $45,000 for some new equipment. I filled out the application online. It took, 15 minutes. Basic business info, how much funding I needed, revenue numbers, credit score range, that kind of stuff. Within 4 hours, I had 3 solid offers in my inbox, and 2 more came in the next day. I didn't have to call people back or do separate applications for each lender. The offers were laid out clearly. Interest rates, terms, when I'd get funded. I actually had a question about one of them, so I called their support line. I got a person who walked me through the details without trying to push me toward anything specific. My credit was decent, but not perfect, and I still had reasonable options. The rates weren't as good as what I would have gotten if I had gone to the bank and had perfect credit, but they were reasonable, and money arrived in my account 3 days later. They work with lenders who handle pretty much anything you need. Term loans for equipment or expansion, lines of credit for working capital, invoice financing if you're waiting on customer payments, and SBA loans for larger products. Loan amounts can range anywhere from $10,000 all the way up to $5 million, though most small businesses see offers between $10,000 and $500,000. Your revenue and credit score will determine what you qualify for. It's advisable to have a FICO score of at least 625 just to ensure more favorable loan conditions. They're not really set up for brand new startups. You need at least 6 months of business operation and some revenue history. But if you're already operating and you need capital to grow, the process is straightforward. Their terms are flexible with anywhere from 6 months to all the way up to 7 years, depending on what you're borrowing for. AdvancePoint doesn't just give you access to funding, they give you room to breathe. It's room to grow and maybe even to dream a little bigger. Honestly, that's what small business financing should feel like. By the way, if you're considering AdvancePoint, check out the link in the description below. For most of the products we talk about, we have special deals that you wouldn't be able to get if you went straight to their website. Now let's talk about what it's actually like to use AdvancePoint Capital. Because for me, it made all the difference in the world. From the get-go, the process feels refreshingly simple. I don't have to dig through my filing cabinet or spend hours figuring out what they need. The site was easy to use, and the application took maybe 10 minutes, tops. I wasn't bombarded with calls. I wasn't stuck waiting around for someone to get back to me. Within 1 day, I had multiple loan offers to review. and real ones, not those vague, "we'll get back to you" placeholders. No. Now, to be fair, and obviously I want to be transparent, it's true that while AdvancePoint Capital offers incredible speed and accessibility, the financing options you find, especially the quicker ones, can sometimes come with higher overall costs or less favorable terms compared to regular bank loans. It's a bit of a trade-off. You get amazing speed and convenience, but that often means a higher interest rate or more fees. Overall, I felt the experience was smooth. It was efficient and it was genuinely helpful. And when I had questions, their support team actually answered them without making me feel like I was dumb or being sold to. And I gotta say, that's not something I usually say about lenders. Now look, banks are slower but often cheaper if you qualify. They want to see established revenue with very good credit, and they'll ask for a ton of documentation. But if you meet their criteria, you will typically get better rates. AdvancePoint gets you answers fast, but it comes at a premium. For time-sensitive operations or when you need equipment that's available now, that premium might be worth it. And banks have a tendency to be more rigid with their terms. Marketplace lenders are often more flexible with payment schedules and qualification requirements. So it depends really on your situation. Do you need funding quickly and you don't really mind paying a bit more for that speed and convenience? Go ahead, especially if your credit is decent but not perfect, or if you just don't have those long-standing relationships with banks. It's also good if you want to see multiple offers without doing separate applications everywhere. It makes shopping around so much easier. Now, if you have time to work through banks and excellent credit, and you have a bank that knows your business, you're going to get better rates by going direct, so don't bother here. Same thing if you're looking for really large amounts, above $500,000 or so. At that level, you're better off with commercial lenders who specialize in bigger deals. But for most small businesses that need working capital or equipment financing in the $500,000 to $150,000 range, AdvancePoint removes a lot of the hassle from the process. And just a reminder, if you're checking out AdvancePoint, use the link in the description. We usually have special deals that you wouldn't find if you went straight to their website. All right, y'all, that covers pretty much everything on AdvancePoint. If you have any questions about business financing or marketplace lending, I've probably dealt with it, so drop a comment below and let me know what you're worried about. Subscribe for more reviews, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.